Hello and welcome back to Facebook Live. I'm here with my co-host Greg Harris and my beautiful wife Aisha Lloyd.
Hello.
That's me.
And we go Facebook Live every Tuesday at 8:30. Yeah.
She said that just like me. It's my twin. Go ahead, say some more.
Come on, say your line.
Hello. How are you? Our daughter being her daddy.
Share.
It's fair.
It's scary.
What's your name again?
Aloy.
Al Laws. It's Al Laws. And who's your mommy?
I
Your
don't.
wife?
My wife is Aisha Lloyd.
Aisha
Hello.
Laws.
How are you?
And then we have a guest star too. Who's that?
That's my daughter.
Trinity.
And
Hey.
this is my son.
All right, son. All right, get up. Let's go. We got our folks coming on. I see that's our brother Tony Boyd coming in fresh, right with us. D Flowers, good to see you. Haven't seen you guys for a while. It's good to see you. Diva, close that door, babe. Good to see you guys. Wonderful to be back. I see the hearts. That's Melisha. Hey, Melisha, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. You know, it's been a minute. We had to skip a week. We're gonna have to actually skip next week too, unfortunately. But you're gonna be in for a surprise coming up because we're in a process where we are about to unleash our whole couples thing that we've been talking about. It's going to be fantastic. I see my brother Sean just came in, so I see comments. I like the way that you guys are communing and coming together. It feels really good to see all of you come in and celebrate with us. Unfortunately, I got to catch you as you're going because the way it's set up, for some reason, I'm not getting kind of the list of things. My wife might be able to pick it up on her device.
I can.
And who's that? Steve, still Steve, my brother Steve. He's in. I see the hearts, I see the thumbs up, the smiley faces. I see my family coming on. It's so great to have you. So great to know that you're still there and you know that we are here. As my daughter said, every Tuesday evening at 8:30 Facebook Live. You know we do this because our heart is really to sow and to give and to transform people's relationships. You know, people. You know, the old saying is easier said than done.
Yes.
And people told us all the time, yeah, that's good. You can talk about having a great relationship, but it's hard work. And I see Tracy coming up, and who is that? Christina. I haven't seen Christina in a while. Good to see you, Christina. And you know, they say it's easier said than done, but I say if you do it, it's easy to say. So I had to learn how to do these things. My wife had to learn how to execute these family strengthening skills so we could do them. So then when we do them and execute them, we can say something about it. And so I really believe that it's our call, it's our mission to help people have insight to see how they can improve and tweak. It's almost like going to the chiropractor, because my chiropractor friend is here. If you go to a chiropractor, their whole goal is to adjust your back so that your nerves that are going through your back are free to be able to allow all of the signals that come from your brain to go into every part of your body. And because if you don't, if you're in your back, if your bone in your back is pinching one of those nerves or cutting off its circulation or its messaging, then you're going to get incomplete messages. The messages are not going to come through properly. And so they call it a subluxation. So, in order to be technical, that means you got a crook in your back. Steve ain't gonna like that, but that's the truth. You got a crook in your back. And that's what happens in relationships. We get crooks in the back of our relationship. The signals are not going through properly. Even though our brain is telling us you should act this way, you should do this, you shouldn't fuss, you shouldn't holler, you shouldn't get upset, you shouldn't, but the nerve is not carrying the message, and you're not able to execute it. You're not able to do it. And so family strengthening gives you that clarity that allows you to get adjusted so your nerves are clear, and so the messages are going from your brain and from your heart to the person and the people in your life that you're trying to have a relationship with and love. And so every Tuesday evening at 8:30, we come to talk to you about those things. My community comes together. My Facebook family, some of them that come every single week, and other ones that join in. I see my sister Karen Brooks is here too. And we come together because we believe that it's possible.
Yes.
You know, even though in the world that we live in, they make it feel like it's impossible. I mean, every show that you see, everything that's talked about, it's always about how somebody's done this to the person, and this person is cheated on this person, and this person is, divorced that person. You very seldom see consistent happiness in relationship. And I'm not just talking about relationship, in your marriage. I'm talking about relationship with a boyfriend. I'm talking about relationship with your cousins. I'm talking about relationship with your grandmom, with your mother, with your father. All these things are applicable. Mm-hmm. All the things that we're talking about. So you can go on our website, which is advice4life.us. That's advice4life.us. Now you'll notice if you look in the background, you'll see something that looks like it's supposed to be advice for life, but it's backwards because we had to flip the camera because we don't have our engineers with us. So because of that, you see it, whatever that word is, that's what you see.
Oh,
But you go on our website. Our website is advice4life.us. You can go on there. You'll see an array of programs, shows. We got almost 100 shows that are going to teach you about different aspects of relationship. Trust me. You need to listen to those. Get them while they do not cost, because there's going to be a day when they're going to cost people to do it. But I'm so privileged to know that you guys can go and get this. Sometimes they say people won't do things unless they pay for it to do it. But I'm saying to you, make the decision yourself. Don't wait till you have to pay for something to get knowledge or information. Go there. It's free. It's going to bless you. I'm telling you, you'll be working out every day. You can't wait to work out listening to these shows. So you also want to go on my webpage, my Facebook page, Al Laws Jr., and you want to follow me. Because if you follow me, you'll get a lot from me and Aisha. Me and Aisha are in the process of doing these individual videos, and we're going to stock up on them. And I'm telling you, we're going to start blasting them out, and you're going to love them. They're going to be these little short bursts of wisdom that you can just, these nuggets that you can take with you and hold. They're going to be very, very deep truths. So I'm also going to do a series on finances, how to relate to your finances. Because number one, you have to learn how to have proper relationship with your finances, but you find that finances have a lot to do with how people interact in a relationship. They say that most of the conflicts that happen in relationships of all kinds, family relationships, marital relationships, boyfriends and girlfriends, it's always about and has something to do with money. Right. So I'm going to teach. Me and Aisha are going to teach. And give you different aspects of how you should relate to money, and how money is, how you can actually also be prosperous and grow with the money that you have in your life. So I think that those bits of wisdom are going to help you, but you can only get that series if you follow me. So go on my Facebook page, Al Laws Jr., and follow me. Go ahead and follow me. You can also follow me because you'll always see my programs come up. There's your sister Khadija coming on. Hey Khadija.
Hi, big sister.
Good to see you. I miss you. I miss you guys. You got to come by. You got to come back and visit. So today, we're going to talk about living up to the power of your own choice and your own decisions and your own discrimination. And actually, I just want to give a short kind of beginning to it, and then I'm going to let my wife, give her heart to kind of set us up. So the two things that really came to me about that is that we have to just accept as we go through our life that we have inherited something that is something that we have to admit that we've inherited, and that is we've inherited this tendency that came from Adam to blame or point the finger at people for our choices. So what always happens is when we find ourselves in a place where we have to look at ourselves and we have to look at how we have fallen short, or when we have to look at the actions or behaviors, we want to find someplace else to blame. So that's what Adam, when God came to Adam and says, what is this that you have done? Like, dude, what did you do? Didn't I gave you all the trees out here. I gave you everything you wanted. I just told you don't mess with this over here. But when you did mess with it, you came back and told me that it was the woman that I gave you. You blame the woman and you blaming me. And so we have this inherent tendency that when we have to look at ourselves, that we want to say, well, I did that because. And so we want to point to a person or point to a thing or point to a circumstance rather than to look at the fact that we have power to make our own choice. We have the power to discriminate ourselves. We have the power. God has given us that. If we didn't have the power, he wouldn't have told Adam that he had a choice between all the trees in the garden and this other tree he told him not to touch. So he gave us that power. And we have the right and the responsibility to live up to the power of our choice, to our discrimination. And so I think two things that come out to me that, is on my heart, my wife might have some other things, is that when we are talking about living up to the power of our own choice and our own decisions, we make a choice every day how we're going to live. I watch myself some days battling. I feel like, oh man, it feels kind of low. I see my sister Aya right there. I feel kind of low. I feel like, I don't know whether, I'm feeling kind of funky. Anybody ever felt funky as you get up? Mm-hmm. You feel yourself in a funk. And I always remind myself, well, you can choose to join with whatever chemistry, whatever circumstance, whatever dream, whatever dynamic that caused you to feel like you're about to go into this funk or this depressive state, this feeling, or you can choose, because it's a choice. Now, people says, why do you have to choose to be happy? Yes, you have to choose it. God said, choose this day whom you will serve. Every day you're going to either choose to serve light or you're going to choose to serve darkness. Mm-hmm. It's your choice. So I work myself. I force myself to say, Outlaws, what are you going to choose today? Live up to the power of your choice. And so then by the time somebody gets me on the phone, and a lot of people who talk to me know, they ask me, how you doing? I say, I'm blessed. Because I made a choice to say that I'm blessed. I'm making a choice to love the day, to seize the day, to say, yes, I may not feel like I'm jumping up on top of the world, but look, guess what? My mind, my brain, my heart is saying you on top of the world. So whether you jumping on it or not, I'm still on top. Yes. And then so that's the one thing that we choose every day, how we are going to live, and that goes into relationship. How I'm going to be happy in relationship, whether my relationship is happy. See, a lot of you you get into these funks and this misery, and you start blaming. I'm sorry, babe, I got to say this. You start blaming the relationship, or you remember something the person did the other day, and you try to, again, make an excuse, point the finger to try to say, it's because of that I'm feeling this way about my relationship. But it has nothing to do with that. It has something to do with you living up to the power of your choice. It's your choice about how you're going to look at your relationship, or whether you're going to allow that thought, that feeling coming into your relationship, trying to convince you that it's not happy, that it's not good. Are you going to buy into that? Are you going to walk with that? Are you going to coddle that? Or are you going to choose to say, no, I declare in God's name, in Jesus' name, I am not going to coddle that. I'm going to choose life. I'm going to choose light rather than darkness. Mm-hmm. It's a choice. And you can't point the finger and blame someone, something, something else for how you are perceiving yourself, how you are living up to the power of the choice that you have. And then the second thing I want to give is that I think, it also goes into how we tend to hold on to things. And that's another part, that we hold on to things to the point that they actually suck us dry. We don't even know sometimes that it's sucking us dry, but we're holding things because we believe we're so right and the person's so wrong. If they would just understand how right I was, I wouldn't have to hold this for them. And people get sick, people lose rottenness. They get depressed, and because they're holding these things, and they have to live up to the power of their choice to see that they can go forward and not hold things, and to make choices of light rather than darkness. So that's my start.
He said a lot, y'all.
I did. I'm sorry. I did.
Yeah, I mean, I love that adjustment analogy. I love that because we do need an adjustment. We do need adjustment, and we are thinking that we're going to adjust to be better for someone else's need, but really it's an adjustment for us so we feel better, so that we are functioning in the way that God designed us to function, and then we can give better to those around us, to those that we love and that we're in a relationship with. And when you were talking about holding things, that's art, just holding on to art. A lot of times we don't hold the good stuff. I mean, when you say holding things, we all got it. That means we're holding stuff that people did wrong to us.
Right.
Because we're not holding the things that people did great to us. Right. We're not holding on that, mom birthed us and she fed us every day. We're not holding on to that. Right. No. Right. We're holding on that she didn't come to this game, and she didn't do this, and she should have talked nicer to me, and why did she yell? And we hold on to those things that are not pleasing, that are not lovely, that are not praiseworthy. Right. We hold on to the things that we're supposed to be releasing. And we keep them as if they're food for our soul, when they are rottenness to our bones and stinking the house up. Stinking the house up. We need to let those things go and hold on to those things that are praiseworthy and they are nutritious for us.
Yes.
And when you were talking about waking up in the funk, when I wake up in the funk, I need my babies and my baby. Because then I'm encouraged and I am willing to die. So the question is, who/what are you prepared to die for?
Wow.
Who are you prepared to die for? Because when that happens, then you will pull yourself out of that funk, wake up and give them the mommy, the wife, the daughter, because my mom lives with us, y'all, that is necessary for them to have an excellent day.
Do you want your sword now, warrior princess? She's a warrior princess, I'm telling you right now.
Who are you prepared to die for? And it's like in the movie when the guy's about to die, and then out the side of his eye, he sees someone that he loves being hurt, and he somehow summons the energy to get up and get that person off of his loved one. Right. That's what that's like. Who are we prepared to die for?
Who are we prepared to die for? What are you prepared to do?
And what are you prepared to do?
I love that movie. If any of you had never saw The Untouchables, when Sean Connery was getting stabbed up or shot up, because he was a police officer trying to take out the mafia, the mob, and he told the other police officer as he was dragging to the door with his life on the line, about to die, he said, what are you prepared to do? And that's what it is. It's really about what we're prepared to do. I mean, part of being prepared to do is to own your process, own what's going on with you. So I'm going to check in. I see some of my folks came on. I'm going to make sure let me make sure I got this on. You got it on there?
Yes.
I'll take your phone then.
Okay.
Okay, so Khadija said we look good. Hey! Khadija said people don't realize that everything you do from the time you crawl out of the crib is a choice. Oh my God, I got George McCready here. That must be a record. I mean, maybe I'm going to get some more radio spots. This is my George is my radio guy. He's the one when you hear us on the radio and the programs. George does that. He says, God bless you. Keep speaking the truth. Good to have you here, brother. And then, of course, my mother says, making yourself look better by looking at others. Okay. And Christina said, we have to have the tendency to hold on to what hurts us. Very nice, Christina, because I'm going to talk about that pain in a minute, of why we hold on to things. You just tapped into exactly what where I want to go. Like we have some kind of addiction to pain. We feel like pain drives us. That is so excellent, Christina. Now, Christina helps us with writing our blog, so you guys need to check out our blogs. You will enjoy that, but this is very deep, Christina. We're going to cover this later. And I said I saw some of you other folks there. My sister Tracy, she said, hey, fam.
Hey, Tracy.
I see her on there. Let's see. Can you make it go up, babe?
Sure.
Steve Silverstone said, find the good. And there's several more that passed by. I know, y'all, this ain't perfect, but we're gonna
there's no more of that.
No, there was. I saw several names. Okay, that's all right.
Sorry.
That's okay. So it'll come back through. We'll check it back out again. So yeah, I think if we can really embrace the fact that it is very hard for us to own our process. It's hard for us to admit our wrong. It's very difficult for us to look at the fact that we made a choice, and so that choice had some effect, some consequence. But there's a power in that, because even if you make a difficult or wrong choice, you still never lose if you learn the lesson. Do you hear that? Like, you can never lose if you live up to the power of your choice. You know, some people get in this frenzy like, oh my God, I'm not going to make this choice. Oh my God, I'm not going to, because they're afraid to make the wrong choice. But all you can do is to examine your heart the best you know how, to pray before God the best way you know how, to ask for wisdom and advice from the people around you who you know have wisdom and advice. Don't go to people that you know do stuff that you don't agree with or don't make good decisions and expect that they're going to give you wisdom to make a good decision.
Right.
So the best you can do is those things. And once you've done that, the Bible says, after having done all, stand. So if you learn that, then you can make decisions. So people become indecisive because they don't want to make decisions. So you can be to that extreme where you don't make decisions, or your decisions are very wishy-washy. You don't make concrete decisions that you're willing to stand by. Because I believe I can stand by my decisions, because even if I make a wrong decision, first of all, I know I've gone through a process. I don't make hasty decisions. And that's why the Bible says that, you know, he who gains an inheritance in the beginning hastily will not be blessed in the end. It also says that the fool makes hasty decisions. So you don't make hasty decisions. You make sure your decisions are thoughtful. And so that if you make thoughtful decisions, then you'll have thoughtful actions, and you'll have thoughtful thoughts and thoughtful feelings because you've taken your time to do that. So choice is really about that. Choice is very powerful, that you cannot lose, because if you learn the lesson, even if you lose in something, you win. You win. Did you want to say something about that? No. Okay. So yeah, as you're learning to live up to the power of your choice and your decisions, the way you obtain the power, and watch this, the power comes when you are willing to allow the truth to come forth, for you to open up your eyes and see the truth. See, that's where power is. Power is not in denying. Power is not in blaming and pointing the finger. You lose power. Matter of fact, we got kicked out of the garden because we denied the truth. We denied what was going on. If Adam had just said, "You're right, God. You told me I wasn't supposed to do it. I did it. It's all me," we would be okay. We would have no sickness, no disease. We'd be living in a whole different utopia. But the power, he missed the opportunity to demonstrate the trust that God gave him in his power to make a choice.
Right.
His choice was to own it, to say, yes, God, yes. If something comes, and it hurts, I know. Every time it comes to me, I watch myself in this process. Like, oh yeah, that wasn't right. I just said it. I had a conversation with my wife last night, and she was telling me something, and I was listening, and I'm watching my brain squirm a little bit, and I said, what are you squirming for? She's right. She's right. It's the truth. So own the truth. Just say it. Say that's the truth. The power is when you join with the truth, with what is there. It's right there. The power is when you agree with the truth and that you're able to look at yourself in the mirror and not be ashamed of what you see. Now, that doesn't mean when I say not be ashamed, that doesn't mean there's nothing going on or wrong or that you're perfect. I'm just saying when you look in the mirror, you can at least say, that's a pimple on my face right there. You see that? You see that pimple? That's a pimple. Instead of you going, ain't nothing wrong with my face. I ain't got no pimples. I don't need to shave. No, that's not the truth. That's not going to set you free because Jesus says, you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. Mm-hmm. So the power in discriminating and choosing properly is when you're faced with the thing that shows your blemishes and shows your spots and your wrinkles, that you own it. You say, yeah. And the power is you're still on top when you say, and now I'm going to learn a lesson from that thing.
Yes.
And that you don't feel condemned. You know, Jesus didn't come to condemn us. He said, I didn't come to condemn the world. He said, what I want you to do is I want you to see the fact that you are helpless without the God that created you. And when you learn that, and when you embrace that, and when you stop fighting that, people are out here now just fighting God, backwards and forwards, fighting to not acknowledge the fact that they are insufficient. They are insecure without the God who created them, and so they try to find their security in drugs and illicit relationships or whatever they do. They try to, just get their mind off of the fact that they should be looking at themselves in the mirror and truthfully owning their process. And so when you do that, you live up to a power of your own decision. Your discernment will become better. You become free because you can go ahead and look in the mirror and then you can work on what you have. Because if you don't acknowledge what you have, you can't work on it. As long as you're still blaming somebody else or blaming some situation or blaming what happened in your past. Look, I know some of you had some horrible things happen to your past. And I probably couldn't even, I don't know whether I could get through some of the things that some of you have been through. But I can tell you this, I know that by God's grace and by his power that I would learn, and I have learned because I've had some experiences myself, that I've learned that I can't blame, I can't keep looking back. Because if I keep looking back, I never can go forward. I'm always pulled back into a mindset. And so living up to the power of my own choice is I'm choosing to see both my past experiences and what I have now, and I'm making a choice to go forward. I'm choosing life. I'm choosing happiness. I'm choosing love. I'm choosing to own it and not blame it. I'm choosing that every day. I'm choosing that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I believe that everyone's life has purpose. And the choices that we make are all reaching towards that goal.
Right.
And I think if we know our purpose, if we get that, then the choices that we make or should make will be clear.
Yes.
But if we just move about not knowing our purpose, not knowing the reason that we exist
Mm-hmm.
in our family, why these people specifically selected to be around us, why. If we don't know what the goal is, then we don't really know what choice to make.
Right.
We're not moving appropriately.
Right.
So if you find yourself in indecisiveness, always choose love. Always apply that. Not only is it the ultimate de-escalator.
You do that well, babe.
Not only is that the ultimate de-escalator, but it is going to help you find what you believe your purpose is.
Right.
When you apply love. Because anger is the next up.
Yes.
I mean, we are finding, apart from God, like what you said earlier, when people are choosing to just deny God, you are seeing anger in the streets. I mean, it's just unbridled, freaking out.
Right.
Anger.
They're
all around us.
They don't have anything else to really direct it to. And they got to blame something. That's what everything that's going on. People have to find something, someone, something to blame. Instead of they're looking at
it's hard. It's kind of hard to blame someone else for burning down the building if you know you set the fire, dude.
It's somebody's fault.
It's really hard.
It made me mad. I don't like what they said. I don't like how they said that. I don't agree with them. So I can act out because it's not me. I'm not really acting out. I'm acting out because you made me act out because of what you think and what you believe.
Oh my gosh, that is so. But if we can really get a hold of that if we deal with it with children.
Come on.
This is how children are. I wouldn't have got angry, Mommy, if you didn't want me to do the dishes. I don't want to do the dishes. That's what made me angry.
That's right. That's right. I didn't want to do the dishes.
Well, the parents will still make you do the dishes and you stomp up them stairs if you want to. My mother would have lit me up, stomp up some stairs.
Honey, I don't know where people come from. But when I grew up, I would not have, even if I was mad about it, my madness would look like this. Stiff in my face a little bit, because I didn't want my father to see me, looking like I was going to, act out or complain, because I reverence, I respected, I understood what he represented to me. Or when my mother says something, like I hear people talking about they hit their parents, like,
oh my God.
It never crossed my mind. I mean, it never would cross my mind.
Woo. I feel like I just cursed my life right there.
Well, you do. The Bible says if you don't honor your mother and your father, it's not going to be well with you. So if you want to be well, and you want it says honor your mother and your father so that it'll be well with you, and so that you will live long in this earth. So, you don't want to be well and you don't want to live long, violate and dishonor your parents. That's a good way to make that happen. But if you don't want that to happen, honor your parents. Honor your parents. I think that's a great analogy. I'm going to just jump back to something that Christina said about pain. That we seem to almost be addicted to pain, and pain drives us. I was thinking about this the other day, how, you were telling me you were in pain, and you were saying it was hard for you to think, and it was hard for you to really connect. And I was just joining you saying, pain is very interesting because it really distracts you from who you are and what you're doing, and it really has this disorienting, that's a good word, disorienting effect. And so when you have pain that's emotional, the same thing happens. People get numb and they get disoriented. And it also happens because we are so sensitive sometimes that we get pain when people are, or when our issues are being reflected to us. When someone makes us see or helps us see ourselves, there's a pain that happens. That's why we want to point it, on somebody else. That's why we want to get off of it by saying, no, it's not me, it's you. That's why we do that, because of the pain. We don't want to host the pain, so we'd rather put that pain on somebody else. Now watch this. Usually the person who is pointing the finger, or the person who is blaming, or the person who is trying to get this other person to see that it's really you, they see themselves as the mature one, as the right one. They believe that they're right. They believe that what they're giving to you is right. But if you're so right, if you're the person and you're right, why is it? Because what I'm saying to you is just a transfer of pain. You want to put the pain on somebody else so you don't have to host it. When really it's your freedom. It's your power. You're giving away your power. So what I'm saying is that if you are the mature one, why are you so up in a thing? Why is it so apparent that, you get out of character or you got to get this across? If you're the person who's right and you're the person who's mature, why do you feel it necessary to give something to somebody else? Why don't you spend your time looking at what you need to give for yourself, meaning to see for yourself? But it's so important for you to make sure that person sees it. Oh, you got to make sure they got to see this. Mm-hmm. I got to make sure they understand this. Oh, okay. Did you do that with yourself? Did you make sure, Outlaws, did you make sure that you were that passionate and that, forceful about making sure that you see it? That you see your spots, your blemishes, your wrinkles? That's the question. The question is, if you believe you're that mature, if you're the one who is right, why can't you respond righteously? Mm-hmm. And so pain in this whole concept of living up to the power of your choice, not only will it cause you to push things off onto other people so you don't have to host the pain, it's almost a situation where, and I like the way Christina said it, we become addicted to the pain. Meaning, now, you know how somebody, when they're hurt, they gives them justification to say, oh, okay, you hit me like that, now I'm going to hit you like that. It's like, if somebody feels hurt, they feel justified. It's like, we looked at that movie, I'm not going to go into the whole thing of the movie, but in the movie, the guy who was the heroine, what was that name? The Equalizer.
Oh.
The guy who was the Equalizer.
Good movie.
Even though he did some terrible things to people, I see people's thumbs up. Even though he did some horrible things to people, you almost felt like it was justified based on what they did to other people. You watch that one person bring somebody else or put somebody else through some pain or take somebody else's life, and you almost like say to yourself, well, that person deserved it. And we do that ourselves. Like we justify how we respond. We become addicted to our pain, that our pain gives us permission to say, well, you hurt me like that? Okay, now I got permission to hurt you like that. It's like tit for tat. Mm-hmm. And while Jesus said that, if someone hurts you, you're supposed to open up your arms. Mm-hmm. If they take something from you, you give them, they take your coat, you give them your shirt. If they slap you, you turn the other cheek. Or somebody says, then my whole face be broken if I keep turning. No, what you understand is that there's power in that. There's power when you don't respond out of pain because you feel pain. Mm-hmm. Oh, I want you to take that in. This power. Listen to me. This is deep. It is power when you learn how not to respond out of pain or respond because of pain because you have pain. That is the beginning of you living up to the power of your choice. Because now you're choosing, even though you feel pain. And let's say the person spitefully does it. They do it with intent. They meant to hurt you. Oh, you can't get away because Jesus says, bless those who spitefully use you and persecute you. Mm-hmm. Pray for those. Bless those. Love those. Okay, does that make sense? No, he's saying, okay, you don't understand what power is. Real power is not in you responding eye for an eye. Remember he said in the Old Testament, they said, it doesn't say that, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Mm-hmm. Jesus says, no, I'm giving you a new commandment. It's new. I want you to check this out. I want you to understand this has more power than eye for eye, because you think you're feeling justified, but guess what? You both end up blind. But the power of what he said is that if somebody spitefully uses you or persecutes you or hurts you, and you respond in love and you respond in blessing, guess what? Only one person is hurt at that point, because what you've done is you've taken the opportunity that has tried to take away your power and cause you to respond in a way that's outside of the character and nature of God. And you've chosen. You've chosen. Both people are not blind. You have enough power now to help heal the eyesight of the other person. And so we have to learn, if we want to have great choice, if we want to live up to the power of our choice, we have to recognize and understand and negotiate around how pain affects us as we have those reactions.
Yeah, there's only one way to respond outside of retaliation. And you have to move pride aside in order to do that.
Right.
I mean, you have to move pride aside, so someone slaps you and your pride will jump up and say, I'm going to knock them out now. Yeah. So, and in order to do that, you have to respond with what you're experiencing. You have to mirror.
Right.
You know,
right.
Wow, you hit me. That hurt. Instead of, you have to tell them what they did and share with them how you're feeling. Give them an I message. I saw you hit me, and I'm telling you that hurt.
And I'm deciding not to hit you back because Jesus told me not to.
Yeah,
otherwise, I would kill you. That's Khadijah. I know Khadijah laughing right now. I know Khadijah.
I'm deciding that. But you know that it came in my spirit when you were talking about being addicted to pain, and
right.
That portion of it is you know, those people that there are people that pick themselves.
Right.
So we pick at these scabs. We're so used to looking at our face with this little boil on it, this little ulcer on it.
You won't do the right thing by it, but you.
And every time we see it,
get bigger and bigger.
We're reminded that this person did that. You put that on my face, and
right.
when it starts healing and God starts healing it, we get mad because we want to make sure it stays there so we can bring it up again. So we get picking at it.
Right.
Get to picking at it so that we can stay in the victim seat. We want to stay telling you that victim seat. You can find it in a lot of locations. You can find one in almost every room in your house.
Aisle 9, victim seats.
Victim seat.
Plenty of victim seats in aisle 9.
We want to stay there. We want to stay in the victim seat.
Yes,
so we keep picking at that thing so everybody that looks at us can see that picking and see that scab.
And so we don't have to take responsibility, because we can always go back to what you did. Because I'm going to hold it enough. I'm going to hold enough for you, because I call myself, well, I'm just going to overlook that. No, you ain't overlooked it. Mm-hmm. You're holding it, and you still have grudge about it. You don't even have peace about it. If you hold something and you truly hold it, you gain peace first. You can bring it back, but when it comes back in peace.
That's right.
It don't come back in, okay, you done did this one thing. Now I'm gonna add up all the cards, all the stamps that you collected, your passports. I done stamped your passport every time you did something wrong. As soon as one thing come up I don't like, and I'm reminding you. You can tell because you start reminding people of all the things they did.
Yep.
You go down the line, but you're not doing it in love, and you're not doing it in a sense of trying to talk and explain it. You are actually angry and trying to let this person know what piece of trash they are, because you've held all this trash inside of you.
Absolutely. I'll give you an example. So my father abandoned our family when I was a little girl. And I held on to that a long time. It was like, it was more than a scab. It was like a slash across my whole person. That scar. And when God tried to heal it, I would resist. I would resist that because I wanted to hold on to that so that when he saw me, he would identify what he had done. That he would see what his absence and his unconscionable, inconsiderate selfishness had done to my life. And then God challenged me. He challenged me to lift myself from that victim seat and blame no one for the choices that I will make from this day forward. So I will not blame my father leaving me for the choice I made today or the choice I made yesterday. After that moment of challenge, that was the challenge he gave me. And so then I stopped and I allowed God to heal that scar. And I counted the blessings that God had put around me. I had a great uncle that was in my life. My father-in-law is my dad now, and I have a plethora of people that love me and I love them. So I have no reason to blame another for poor choices today.
Right.
I have no reason. There's no excuse. So like when we hold up that mirror and we're showing someone else what they do so that we're hiding behind that mirror.
Yep.
We're hiding behind the mirror. We want to show them what they look like and we don't want them to see us. We're hiding behind the mirror.
Right.
So anything, you can't see me.
You can't see me.
Right.
I just want you to see you, but you can't. No.
The challenge is make that mirror double-sided.
Yes.
So that you're looking at one, too.
Wow.
And when you do that, you will be very careful in what choices you make.
And you will have power. That's where you will have power. When you're able to see yourself.
Yes.
To see yourself more than you want to see others. Or you want others to see themselves. You want to see yourself more than you want others to see themselves. You may help others see themselves. But you want more to see yourself. You want to make sure you see your stuff. You want to make sure you're working on your stuff more than you trying to help everybody else work on their stuff.
That's right.
If you see in your mind all the time, you looking at people and saying, oh, that person needs this, or that person should do that, or that's what's wrong with that person, or they crazy. If you find yourself doing that all the time, you're giving away your power every day. That's why you feel weak. That's why that's why you can't find your place out. You find the truth. The truth will make you free.
Yes.
When you see truth and you accept the truth. That's why when God brings truth to you, he'll know because your heart is open to receive his truth.
Hallelujah to that, baby.
And we are going to, the truth is we're almost out of time. So I want to read some comments from our people. I hope you guys have gotten a lot. We're going to do some more with this. Unfortunately, we're not going to be doing the show next week. And I'm going to tell you it's because I looked in the mirror and realized that I could not miss the Steph Curry game. They put it on Tuesday night, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm being honest with you. I did everything in my heart. I said I cannot miss that game. So we are not going to do the show next week, but we will be back the following week. And then you'll see some more things. I told you these things are dynamic. I love the laughter. I love the thumbs up. I want to read a couple comments. Tony said, with pain, if you hold on to it long enough, you become accustomed to it. Mm-hmm. And it's most difficult to release it. Tony, that is so wise and so true. I love that. Yeah, thumbs up and hearts for that. And Tracy said, say it. Say it, Tony. Sean said, because if not, he said, because I'm not secure in myself, so I blame others. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens. We can't find security when so you have to find the security by being willing to embrace what's being brought to you. And that will give you the strength. You become used to embracing the truth for yourself. So you don't have that need as much to lash out or try to point it out to others. And usually when people do that, they do it in anger. So Michael Johnson, hey Mike, I didn't know you were on. That was nice. He liked the movie analogy, and he said he liked the fact that person wanted to help. I saw one from my nephew is on there. Nice, Mike, is good. Good to see you. He tells me he listens to the videos, but he said something pretty powerful down here. So he said, but how when I'm so used to acting in that way? And so that's very powerful, Mike, but that's what we're talking about. You break habits, and I tell people that you break habits one tiny step at a time.
Yes.
And that means you have to be consistent every day. If you want to break the habit of having negative thoughts, you wake up every day and says, I'm going to find the good. You might start with, I'm going to find 3 things good today or this morning. And I'm going to find 3 good things good in the afternoon. I'm going to find 3 good things at night. And you do that every day, and you do that for a month, guess what? Those little steps help you break the pattern of being negative.
That's right.
So it's this, in the same way. If you were used to blaming and not looking at yourself, you say to yourself, today I'm going to find 1 thing to look at for myself. 1 thing. I still might find 10 other things for other people because that's what I'm used to. But I'm going to find 1 thing that I'm working on today. And then you do that for 2 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks you say, I'm going to find 2 things. And you, after a while, you find that you have too much time focusing on how you can help work on yourself, that you don't have a whole lot of time to think about what other people got to do and what they got to work on. I mean, unless they come and ask you for help or they're asking for your assistance, then hopefully you're going to do it in love. But if you're trying to help people from your anger, the Bible says the anger of man never accomplishes the righteousness of God.
Yeah.
I don't care how angry you bring something across to somebody, it does not make it better. It does not make your point better. It does not make your emphasis better. It does not accomplish God's righteousness. Dante, I see Dante in there. He said, awesome message. Sean Brooks said, positive thoughts can remove the pain.
Yes.
And that's a very powerful thing, Sean. Better thoughts brought you a better life. Thank you, brother. That's nice. And Michael saying, wow. Yes, Dante said, it's our power, our choice, seeing self.
Yes.
Nice, Dante. And Peachy, of course, every day, no matter how much pain I have, I'm determined today will be a good
I know you.
day.
I know that's true about my sister.
I'm just about to break out in tears. This girl, this is real stuff.
Yeah.
Because this girl is dealing with physical pain almost every day.
Woo.
And she always got a smile on her face. I'll never see her trying to bring everybody down and trying to make people feel bad. Like,
and it's a beautiful smile too, Sissy.
Yeah. So yes, that's it. I'm gonna end on that one. Every day, no matter how much pain I have, I'm determined today will be a good day. That today will be a good day.
Tonight's gonna be a good night.
Oh yeah, it is. Good night.
Good night.
Advice for life. Guess what, y'all? We'll be back again. We won't be back next week, but we will be back the week after. But usually every Tuesday, unless Steph Curry's playing, every Tuesday at 8:30, you can join us on Advice for Life. We are here to bless you, to give you insight to things about life. Remember all the things that's coming. You're going to be excited this spring when I bring a host of different couples. We're actually going to do a pilot for a TV show, and you guys are going to be right there with us, joining us, our Facebook family. You're going to be part of that dynamic, so get ready. You're actually going to be incorporated into that dynamic. So I love you. Remember to go on our website, advice4life.us. That's advice4life.us, or you can go by this one, Ilife for Ibebe. You won't get much from that one, but you can get a lot from advice4life.us.
Oh,
and you can listen to an array of our shows. It will bless you. Go ahead and follow me on Facebook, Outlaws Jr. Make sure you follow me. It also will warn you. And remember, I forgot to tell you this, is that right now, as we're going, before you leave, on the left-hand corner of your device, you see a little button. You can push that button and you can notify all your friends and family. It'll automatically send it out to them that you've been part of this show. I should have told you to do that before, because usually that's how I get.
Divinity told them.
Oh, she did?
She said share.
She said share, but that was share, it's fair. That means that was the last thing I'm going to say. Share, it's fair. You really need to just share this over and over again. Repost it. Let people know you were blessed. Do comments through the week. We just want you to continue to love and the blessing. Let us know that this is important to you. This is valuable to you. And as long as it is valuable, we'll take our time to give you the love that's in our heart and wish you the very best. As my sister Sissy Peachy said, today is going to be a good day no matter what the pain is. Yeah. Today is going to be a good day, and tonight is going to be a good night. Love you guys. Love you. God bless.